everyone. Welcome to the Seeds of Success podcast, hosted by Dottie San Martin and myself, Orly Rivera. This show is your weekly dose of knowledge, insights, and actionable tips to transform centers into striking successes. Whether you're a seasoned industry professional or just stepping onto the lanes, we've got you covered. Dottie, we are back with another show, and the last show we had Mik on, which we have Mik back today. We started talking about smells, to kick off the show, and it went on for a whole episode, which was good. It ended up being a good show, but we didn't get to anything else. So speaking of smells, we know that they can, sometimes get stuck in your carpet or just, in your flooring. So we wanted to kick off today's show by talking a little bit about carpet and different options and just go from there. And we'll just see where we go from there today.
Yes. And, for those that didn't tune in to any of our previous shows with Mik, Mik is the owner and designer of US Design Lab. So just want to kind of get that straight. So if you're wondering what in the world does he know about smell and design and color and carpet, well, he's perfectly positioned for today's episode. So Mik, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dottie. Yes, I know what it means designing bowling center. I did some of them. And I always enjoy a few of them, and I love to do this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So we, like Orly said, we kind of started off the last episode that you were on, and we got on the subject of smells, which I'm really glad we did because it's a great subject, very important, and one that people tend to steer away from. So, but you mentioned something on that episode about smells and beer spilling on the carpet and along those lines. So let's kind of go down that road a little bit. Let's expand upon that.
Yes, it's always a dilemma. So we have a lot of carpet in bowling center or family entertainment centers, especially the old ones. So carpet is one of the most absorbing smell things in the world. Okay, especially if you don't clean it in the right way, and so we always try to use carpet tiles that can be easily replaced, and this is another little tip. So instead to buy a roll of carpet, we used to spec carpet tiles. So if somebody spills something that it's uncleanable, you can replace the tile.
What a great idea.
This is one thing, but there is always this dilemma between carpet, non-carpet. Okay, so it's one of the questions that I got from our customers is, Mik, what can we do? Put carpet or LVT floors or concrete floor and whatever. So my suggestion is, yes, if you want to use carpet, use tile carpet. And yes, use carpet, especially in places like arcade area where you need some sound proof kind of thing. So the carpet is not reflecting the noise of the games. So it's absorbing the noise, and this help more than like polished concrete that is like a mirror.
Yeah.
And so if you want to use it in those locations, it's good. Or sometimes use it like a dark carpet in the main entrance, like we have few projects in the middle of the desert. So to avoid that people brings in dust and other stuff, they can walk through a little bit of carpet that is easy.
Oh, that makes sense. And there's even carpet that's specific for that kind of helps to take some of that off the shoe.
There is this kind of exterior kind of carpet that we put in the vestibule, the black one, the traditional one, and then we turn into a more aesthetic style carpet when you step into the facility. So carpet is good. I'm not against carpet. When I can, I always use LVT floor, especially because it has like more a modern look and feel. And but both of them works. So pro and cons are that carpet is not easy to clean. LVT floor is super easy and it cannot get damaged. I always use also LVT floor on the city area, the bowling city area.
Oh, okay.
Because of the drop of the ball. balls. So if a ball drop in another floor, it can get damaged. LVT is like a very thin plastic, strong plastic, and it's very hard to damage. And the look and feel is that to have a very nice and high-end wood floor style, because it has the same texture of wood floor. It's not like the old linoleum. I don't know if it's called like that.
Yes.
It was a term from my previous Italian job, that it was like waving after a few days. Those stuff are thicker, and so it stays flat and easy to clean and easy to also to mount, because it's with a glue. You have the glue in the back, and you can glue it down to the floor.
And does it come in sections?
Yes, it's like a traditional wood floor, but instead
so planks
wood
of
or
sorts.
synthetic planks.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's cool because you can also match different planks. Like in a bowling center, we did this herringbone thing with big planks, and so we have light wood, dark wood, middle wood, and you have this kind of effect that it also helps to do not see dust or dirt marks or everything on the floor. And so this is usually these are the three kind of floors that we use. Polished concrete, it's always good, especially with a family entertainment center, big facilities where you can grind the floor and polish it. And also if it's damaged, or it gives you this industrial feeling that it's, in any case, it's good. So you don't have to be aware of scratches or anything. And then when we get into restaurant, we always use this warm wood LVT floor that it makes the place, like I was saying, warmer. And then carpet in the arcade area. Of course, tiles in the restrooms. This is the basic thing. So these are mainly the floors that we use all around the facility. Another thing around the bar. Floor is always helping to. I think we discussed in one of our podcasts. Is helping to define areas. So people love to have certain areas defined, so it doesn't look like a big empty box. You have the area of the restaurant that is defined by wood LVT floor. Then you have the arcade area with the carpet. Then you have the city area, the bowling city area with a different floor. You have the concourse with another different floor. So it gives the idea that you are in the right place and you are walking in the right path. Okay, so bowling city area, if it's defined by the floor, this is the place that you have to stay when you bowl. So this, because not everyone has soft furniture or big sofas. So if you have like a table with 4 chairs, the city area can be everywhere. So people bring things everywhere. But if you define the area with a floor, you say, if you bowl, this is the place that you have to stay. Okay. If you eat or if you walk, this is the concourse, and this with a different floor. It doesn't have to be different in terms of material. We always play with different colors, like city area darker than the concourse. So it doesn't have to be a million of different colors over there. And let's see. So you're gonna have a lot of LVT provider. Also, Home Depot has a very good quality LVT or Loves, or you don't have to spend millions, and you can find it everywhere.
Absolutely. And you know, that's a big difference from the way it was many years ago. Bowling centers were, you know, the flooring was the same throughout. The settee area may have been, you know, one thing, but then the concourse area and the rest of the center generally was, you know, carpet. And so seeing that there's, number one, there's a lot more options, but also to see that it helps you to define your center. And, you know, and we've talked about Las Vegas on a lot of different shows. Obviously, it's obvious that I like Las Vegas. But anyway, they do a really good job with flooring being used to define certain areas. I know, you know, when we go into Bowl Expo and you're trying to find how to get to the convention center, they'll say, follow the carpet to where, you know, and that's what they'll use to help you get to where you need to go. So they do a really good job of creating pathways based on the flooring that they use. So quite interesting. So you can do the same thing in bowling centers,
yes.
Entertainment centers.
It's not easy for a bowling proprietor because probably it was easier in the past that they have just the nightmare to pick one carpet and that's it. Now they have to think about different areas, but this is where we can, of course, help to understand that. And
yes, when we the easy way out. I was just going to say the easy way out is not always the right way out.
Yes, yes. And remember that you don't have to, every time that you call a designer, this is a little say speech, designer, you need to redesign the center, okay? You can call a designer, local ones, or myself, or somebody else, just to have some advices in flooring, okay? Don't be like shy to say no, or worried to spend millions of dollars in design. Just call and say, we are in this situation. We want to start with this kind of floor. Like I have another customer in South Florida that he has this concourse that is very old and damaged, and he's going to have a big star. I cannot say anything, but he rented the bowling center to have his own party. Mm-hmm. And they said, Mik, what can we do? We cannot change the bowling center in a month, but at least we can do something. So now we are replacing the carpet.
Oh, nice.
For the reasons that we were discussing in the previous podcast. Smell first, and second, it looks like when you walk in, it looks like, oh, they put new carpet. Cool.
Yeah.
And
that
so
sends out a good message.
So that you don't have to change everything. You can start with floor, and this is already a good step into remodeling.
I have to say,
I was just going to briefly say, I know you mentioned color earlier. You know, darker, lighter. Is that usually just the customer's preference, or do certain colors do certain things to people? I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, brighter makes people happier, darker brings, you know what I mean? Is there anything in the color, or is it just up to the customer and their design?
Mainly it's at the beginning is something that always come from a customer. Like I want not like a traditional bowling center, I want a bright bowling center. Mm-hmm. So I want something that is more family, not this kind of dark environment. But when you have to do some more boutique centers, you have to get darker in furniture, in floor, because it gives you this idea of high-end, okay?
Right. Yeah.
So this is the only difference, depending on the target, like we used to do also differentiate the bowling lanes. Like if we have like 4 or 6 or 8 VIP bowling lanes, we use a totally different floor over there, a totally different look and feel. Also, sometimes the lanes, we use the dark lanes over there just to make a really clear distinction between traditional bowling and VIP.
Right, okay, to make it more upscale.
More upscale, yes.
Yeah.
So this is the difference.
Well, you know, it's interesting because as I listen to you and you're talking about, you know, changing the carpet, and for that particular center, that was what they could do at that moment, was change the carpet. It's really no different than, you know, I'm in the middle of wanting to redo my house. Well, I'd love to just redo everything all at one time and have a whole new look, but that doesn't make sense for me. More so, it maybe doesn't make sense for my budget, right? So we are taking steps, and we have our eye on what we want to do as a whole, but we also have a systematic approach to how we're going to do it. So makes a big difference.
What I'm suggesting is not buying like a random carpet just because that day you like, I don't know, green. the ideal is to plan the future. So
Yes.
as soon as you're going to have enough budget to remodel the center, you're not going to throw away a carpet that you installed a few months before, okay, or a year before. So if you have like mentality of saying, I'm going to remodel the center in 1 year or 2 years, pay a designer a little bit more and say, give me also a color scheme so I can get into this step at a time, okay, without spending a lot of money now, but without wasting a lot of money then.
Yes, that's really important. That's really important because you don't want to spend money today and then 2 years down the road, when you're ready to do the next phase, realize that there's a disconnect. So having a master plan in mind is definitely, it saves you money in the long run.
Do you know what I used to say that too, because when you have the customer pick their own color and their own customer and their own carpet, then I have to deal with that, because in 2 years, if we have to remodel the center, the customer will come to me and say, Mik, I just spent money in doing the carpet and the carpet is orange. Can you base the design of the overall facility with the orange? And I say, thank you for helping me.
Yeah.
So it will be a disaster.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't want to have to make, everything, okay, gosh, I just spent all this money on this carpet. I guess I better make everything match that. And then years down the road, it looks like it's hodgepodge, right?
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Absolutely. Well, gosh, this has been a really good, you never know where something as simple as smelly carpet and stinky atmospheres is going to lead you. So I think this has been a really great episode. Mik, thank you very much for joining us. Is there anything else you guys have along this subject that we want to share with our listeners?
Oh, I think we covered it all.
I think we did too. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to you tuning in next week for another episode of Seeds of Success. And who knows what we'll cover then. You never know with us. But our goal is to equip you with more practical tips, ideas, and trends that'll help your center grow and achieve new levels of success. Remember to share this podcast with your entire team. The more seeds you plant, the bigger the crop. Until next time, listeners, keep growing your business one happy customer at a time.